Hello everybody, Animation Trainer here, and today we're going to talk about Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. So, most of the time when people talk about this film, they consider it like one of the weaker Harry Potter films. But to be honest, I actually like this movie more than most people do. In fact, overall, in terms of books, this is my second favorite book. However, in terms of movies, it's not as good as I thought it would be. I still really enjoy the movie, but it's just not the best here. I mean, why? Why did you have to why did you have to make this the shortest, well, not the shortest, but like one of the shortest movies? If it's the longest book. That's right. Order of the Phoenix is the longest book, but it's crammed into, I believe it's the second shortest movie, because I know for sure that Deathly Hallows Part 2 is shorter than this. Yeah. So I'm guessing it's the second shortest movie. But why did they have to cram so much into one movie? Why not make it as long as Chamber of Secrets? Even longer would be great as well, but no. And because of this, some of the film feels kind of rushed, to be honest. Yeah. And plus, there's a lot of scenes that I really liked from the book that they didn't use here, which I'm still kind of disappointed in. And there's something that I will talk about a little later that they forgot to cut out in the book, which I'll complain about later, but yeah, I'll talk about that more in the spoiler territory. Yeah. But really, though, yeah. And then, once again, they didn't use Dobby in this book. Yeah. And then, yeah. And then, I remember in the book, they added more, like, to the love story of Harry and Cho, but, like, they didn't use that very well here at all. In fact, they barely even used it here. And I will say that there are still things that the movie did better, which I am still happy about. Like, for example, the final act, which I'll talk about a little more in spoiler territory, because, well, I'm sure if you guys saw the movie, then you know what happens in the third act. But yeah. But overall, I still think that the story is very well done, and Professor Umbridge, seriously, man. I did not expect her to be this good of a villain without being required to do like tons of magic. Yeah, Umbridge was definitely a really good villain in my opinion. And in some cases she can be relatable if you have like a teacher who's like this in real life. Yeah. And then also, another thing is that the special effects still look absolutely amazing, especially in the third act. Now, let's just say that now I'm gonna go into spoiler territory, because there's a lot of spoilers I definitely want to go deeper into. Alright. Now, let me go into the negative spoilers first. Why is Dobby not in the film? And also mute the video until 4 minutes and 25 seconds if you have not seen the Half-Blood Prince. I haven't seen it, but I know what it is. So, yeah, like I said, I haven't seen the Half-Blood Prince, but I know that there's Dobby's death in that film. Why is it that Dobby isn't in this film? I mean, it's at the point where... Okay, sorry. Fast forward it to 4:50. Alright. But yeah, it's at the point where we don't get to know Dobby that much to care for when he dies in the next film. So, they better make it better in the following film. Because I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it at all. Yeah. Okay, so some other spoilers. Like I said, the film still feels rushed. Yeah. Now let me move on to some positives. Now, one thing one thing I thought was actually handled better in the movie rather than the book was, well, sort of in some cases, was Sirius Black's death. I mean, I'm glad that they actually made Sirius come out fighting for Harry before he died. Unlike in the book, Harry met up with Lupin, and then he said that and then he just told Harry that Sirius is dead. Yeah, I'm glad that they executed it this way rather than in the book. I thought that was very well handled. Although I am a little disappointed that because in the book it showed Harry a little more frustrated over the death of him, and sure they still had the Crucio stuff, but I wanted to see like him like more frustrated with the death of his godfather, which was the only family he had left. And I like the scene in the book where Harry was all yelling at Dumbledore saying, "So it's all your fault then, huh?" Cuz it added more emotion to the death of Sirius, but I will say that it is executed at least better in this case. And then there's also the battle between Dumbledore and Voldemort. Finally, Dumbledore gets the fight. Yes. And the battle is just amazing with all the visual effects and how Voldemort threw out that little fire thing and Dumbledore used his little whirlpool like thing. Yeah, that looked amazing. Yeah. And then another thing is that I'm glad that in this film they actually added a little more character development, like with Neville, where it showed him growing more, cause he always like had a lack of confidence, but then Harry like started to teach him more about how to work out using the spells, and then he was able to overcome his like lack of confidence, and then Dumbledore too, because we get to see like a lot more of him, and I'm glad that we got to see him, fighting for Harry, standing up for Harry. He gets to fight for Harry, yeah. And then there's Voldemort, who I will say that I won't say that he's like underdeveloped, because personally, I like villains where at first we don't know too much about them, and then later on they develop them more because it makes them mysterious. Which I'm glad that they're doing with Voldemort. Yeah. And then another thing I liked was the introduction to Luna Lovegood. Well, there's also some negatives I have with it. Like, for example, why is it that they waited till the fifth movie to add another character? Literally. They could have done it better in maybe Chamber, Azkaban. Even Goblet would have been a better bet to introduce her in. Not the fifth movie. Yeah. And she is kind of there just so that there's more main characters with wizards. I mean, with Neville, we knew him since Sorcerer's Stone. So, it didn't feel like he was just there. Alright, but Luna is definitely a good character, in my opinion. Sure, she's weird in a bunch of scenes, but she still fights well with Harry as well. Yeah. And then something I forgot to mention in some of the other films are the humor. And most of the humor is provided by the Weasley twins. Which, fun fact, they're not actually twins in real life. Yeah. They definitely bring out a lot of humor in a lot of scenes. And I like the scene in this movie where they just came out and they started throwing fireworks everywhere, and then they blew up all of Umbridge's laws, all of her new rules. Yeah. So even though it kind of ruins some, well, not ruins, but like doesn't leaves out a lot of things from the book, I still do enjoy this film, and In the book, I felt like it made more tension in the Harry's life there in Hogwarts throughout. Yeah. And here, even though it still showed it. It didn't show it as much. Oh yeah, and another character forgot to mention that I like that they gave more development to was Snape. I'm glad that they gave him that memory. Yeah, Snape is starting to be one of my favorite characters in the movies now. And I know that he'll get more development in Half-Blood Prince and, what's it called? Deathly Hollows Part 1 and Part 2. Yeah. And overall, I gave it a 9 out of 10. Yeah. This movie is not as good as. Well, I keep saying that. Because overall, in terms of books, it's my second favorite book other than Azkaban. But in terms of movies, it's my third favorite movie, right under Azkaban and Chamber of Secrets. Alright. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. So, goodbye.